bowl finishing directly in front of the jack. Malcolm Bishop may play a bit of weight, almost impossible to dead draw. Needs to arrive and disturb the head.
Caught on the high side here somewhere.
His forehand will not turn if you get out too wide with weight.
Rex Johnson knew it, caught on the high side, as he called it, as it left the hand of Malcolm Bishop.
Looks too easy, but what do you want me to do?
5 shots in the last 2 ends the Aussies have picked up.
Just heard Rex Johnston say to Kirko, it looks too easy, so that means too easy for Wales, so he will try to disturb the head. Delicate touch on the jack. Even if he dropped 30 centimetres short would be good.
A little bit on the high side himself.
It's finished in a good home.
Hello.
Well, William Thomas. Kelvin, you've played wonderfully well here. You're obviously enjoying playing in front of the dad and the wife and back on the Aussie colours.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's just good to be back in the side, and just happy the way I'm going at the moment. If I can continue the form.
You're leading so well, Kelvin. How much practice have you and Rex had
on? On the ditch anyway.
Sorry, mate.
Can't, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know Paddles was going to talk to you there, Kelvin. You're doing it so easily, he probably doesn't need to.
Rex just trying to disturb the head, is he, Kelvin, to try and take that shot away?
I think he'd be just arriving down here on the forehand, mate. I wouldn't be trying too hard if I was Rex. I'd be happy just to see him just go behind. Even if he draws a shot off that wing bowl's good. He's trying to draw one. Come on, Rex. Mate. Come on, Paddles. It's going to be in a good home, mate. That's good. Well done.
Kelvin, did you think before the match that the longer length ends might find out the Welsh boys?
Not really. It's probably the main reason is everyone knows Paddles likes ditch to ditch, so I don't mind it as well on the indoor, so I'm just happy to go along and yeah, play Rex's length and try and get something in the head for him.
I think William Thomas may play more weight here, Kelvin.
I would be inclined. I think he'll really go for it, because even he can sort of get something off his wide maroon coloured bowl anyway. So, but he doesn't want to peel it out either. You know, it's sort of the ball game then. But certainly, if he gets the front one onto the jack into the ditch, he can get a couple of shots.
If the Welsh bowl goes out clean with nothing else, you'd be holding maximum count of 4.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a little bit of danger there if he plays that sort of weight.
And you'd be hoping your 2 lead bowls stay where they are.
Well, they do. They look good where they are.
Thanks, Kelvin. Let's see what William Thomas can do. Waits on.
Thomas!
Well, nearly did get rid of his own close bowl, but it'll be just the one for Australia, and that's 3 ends on the trot. The Aussies have put together, and a 16-4 lead now. Kelvin Kirko. Oh, stamps that foot. May not be happy.
Sometimes you draw a toucher when you think you've played a bad bowl, Steve.
Well, he probably sensed he was heavy, but fortunately he's collected the jack on the way through.
Greatest player of all time, Englishman David Bryant. Players used to have a little smile about David. He'd let a bowl go and slap his thigh, and invariably players would all know before the bowl came to rest it would be a toucher. Most supporters and spectators thought that David played a bad bowl, but gee, Malcolm Bishop, he's led well. He really has led well. He's only had 2 days practice on the carpet.
Good ball. At
the Clanethy Bowling Club Where Malcolm Bishop plays the indoor, Kelvin Kirko had the biggest win of his international career, winning the Welsh
Played it well,
Master
Kelvin.
Singles about 4 or 5 years ago.
Stop any time you like. Good shot. Well done, son.
Come on down, Mark. 2 balls through.
Playing the forehand, and again that foot is off the mat generally for Malcolm Bishop on his forehand. At the point of delivery, the one foot has to be on or directly above the mat.
On it.
Very unusual stance on the mat, Malcolm Bishop on
Mark.
his forehand.
Oh. Ben. Ben. Ben.
Rest on Kirko's bowl would be very good.
Okay, good one.
Very close thing for shot now.
Brilliant leading, the 4 bowls. Steve, that's wonderful leading.
Australia has won the last 6 ends. Get quite a shock here if they drop a shot.
I'm sure they won't relax, Steve. They'd like to even be further in front.
Come on, Paddles, run hard. Come on, mate, chance. Oh, mate, lovely effort, pal. Great weight.
Was a good try. Be looking to replicate that with his last. William Thomas now.
You try well. Hold in there. Hold. Oh, good try.
Another good try from the Welsh. Starting to
measure,
become good
mate?
here. A little late.
Still the same, is it? From
Yeah,
before?
exactly the same, mate. There's no change. It's up and down. Just got to draw. Your weight's perfect. It's an interesting track, mate. If you're here, run hard.
Oh, don't say I'm chasing rubbish.
Come on.
Just came
your
up a
chance.
little
Run.
early, Johnston. He may have taken some weight off.
Oh, it's had a wobbly old finish and not quite.
Just drop on that well. Just sit on that to be good.
Good chance for Wales to stop this 6-end run of Australia.
Keep on coming, boy. Come on, William. Come on. Come on.
Oh, well played. Well played, William Thomas. That's what they needed. The crowd warming to that effort. This has been a long time
I
coming.
might tape that other one.
Yeah, should we just tape all around?
Yeah, tape all
And
around.
it's certainly won.
Bernie.
Yeah, tape all around,
You want them, you can...
No clock on this, is it?
Kelvin Kirko saying, if you want them, you measure. I'll concede 1.
Which one?
Well, that's you were closest, yeah?
Yeah, measure that one.
Right, so that one against the 2 red. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a team effort here. Kelvin and Malcolm down the haunches.
No, quite on the
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
No shit.
That makes
No, that's not it. I'm going to put on the other red, but I don't think it's...
Try it, I don't think it's in.
Yeah, okay.
one.
It's one only to Wales. But they move ahead to 5, still trailing by 16 shots though.
Can you stretch the tape? Right? Can you stretch the tape?
No, I can't.
Well, some encouragement for the Welsh boys, Malcolm and William, as we near the end of the match. They picked up a shot in the 16th end, a shorter end now. See if they can pick up a multiple count. Not been able to do that so far in the match. And watching on and enjoying the form of the Australians, I'm sure, is Steve Glasson, who we'll see in the singles. Steve, Kelvin's roared back into the side, hasn't he, with great form.
What an outstanding performance. I mean, the guys have just burned. Kelvin's set it up fantastic from the leads, but he's just absolutely nailed it end after end, and it's a joy to watch him play in this sort of form. And, you know, if on the odd occasion he's missed, Rex has been on fire. It's just been a totally outstanding performance. Brilliant.
Oh, keep doing that all the time.
Case in point right now as Kelvin seems to adjust with ease to this different length. The Welsh boys have just struggled throughout, haven't they, Steve? Especially the longer ends.
Well, that's right. They haven't really sort of nailed it too often. I think last end was probably one of their better ends, but you know, when you're under that sort of pressure that our boys, especially Kelvin's been putting them under, it's pretty hard to keep going. But it's, you know, I can't emphasise enough. It's just been outstanding by our boys. It's been a terrific of it.
We haven't seen Kelvin on TV, Steve, for almost a year, and it's great for Australian bowlers to have pressure on players like yourself, isn't it? Ready to come in on the wings, like Kelvin's making every post a winner at the moment.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I've always thought Kelvin's sort of been a bit unlucky to be out of the side, I suppose. So it's great to see him back in it. And, you know, I know how good a player he is, and it's just great to see him producing it in a big match like this.
And you're off to England in a couple of months for the Commonwealth Games trials, Steve?
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, we're going over there. We've got a 10-man squad. We've got to narrow that down to 7 for the Commonwealth Games. And, you know, as you say, it's a very tough squad at the moment, so it's going to be very competitive. And, you know, the greens, as you well know, are going to be totally different to what we're used to. So I think the trial's going to count for a lot, and it should be very interesting to see the makeup of the side when they do select it.
Well, William Thomas, he's let rip at this point.
And only succeeded in taking out one of Malcolm's bowls, and once crashed into the scoreboard at the far end. Sent a few officials scurrying.
That bowl actually knocked the scoreboard over, Steve. Had plenty of power on it.
Maybe a little bit of frustration coming through.
Yeah. And Steve, have you heard anything in particular about the greens in Manchester?
I must say, no, I haven't heard a lot. I understand they might be still putting down at that as we speak. Not really up to date on it, so we've basically just got to go there a little bit blind and play it by ear.
Okay. Thanks, Steve. Good luck in your match too.
Can't wait. Thanks very much.
William Thomas. Not tempted to drive again in case he destroys the scoreboard.
Oh, well.
I tell you what, he's backed off the drive very well. Oh. But still cannot find any luck. And Rex Johnson will go back to the mat with a good situation.
Australia are only holding one, but if Rex Johnson could come around and just turn that bowl over, just one roll, looks like Australia could be 4 shots. He's just trying to draw, no danger at all.
Swinging now,
You gotta
but
stop, mate. Hold on, paddles.
oh, fell the wrong way. And one kicked out by Kelvin Kurko.
Another measure job, is it?
But I only asked the one. No measure required. 22 to 5 Australia.
Goes quick this game, doesn't it? 2 ball pairs.
No, it's
4 ends.
it's unreal.
Yeah, I can't see anyone. Oh, they're down there boiling them
Unless
back.
they say different. Unless they say different.
Australia only waited until the second end before starting to dominate this match. Wales won in the first, then 8 shots in 3 ends, Australia. Singles only offered up by the Australians to the Welsh. And look at that run from the 10th end through to the 15th. Australia not allowing the Welsh a shot. And then one in the 16th. 22 to 5, looks more like a rugby score, which I'm sure Malcolm Bishop, coming from near Llanelli, would appreciate, but he'd rather be the 22 than the 5.
Well, at long last, Malcolm Bishop has decided to try this forehand side, Steve, in this direction. Has been playing the backhand throughout the match.
Kelvin has rarely, if ever, failed to correct if he's not been on the jack with his first
Good
bowl.
correction, Kelvin. Good shot, mate.
Here he is again, right on it.
Unusual stance on the mat there from Malcolm Bishop. Both feet virtually off the mat. It comes on now at the point of delivery. Back foot looks to be totally above the mat, which is okay.
End of the
So he's
line.
over-corrected.
Just 2 more.
Two more.
2 more. This one and another one.
Well, we can only expect and hope, Shuey, that the Welsh boys be better for the experience. I mean, they'll both reappear in the triples, of course, and in competition like this, they'll take something from the experience on this carpet.
Only had 2 days practice, Steve. They've been in Brisbane for a few days practicing on the outdoor greens, but it's very difficult coming from the slow Welsh
Well done, Paddles.
outdoor greens.
Good shot.
Play on this very slick carpet
Well
at Tweed
played.
Heads. Johnston tucking the jack around the
shot.
corner. Absolutely perfect. Rex Johnston.
Got me better off that side, Will. Turn the weight through.
Well, Steve Glasson effusive in his praise of how Kelvin and Rex have played. No wonder to see bowls like that. It's
Big try.
great form
Yeah,
from the
well.
Australians.
Bend a bit. Bend a bit. Oh,
Oh, and
Try.
a centimetre in it.
Bit of pressure, Steve, on the Welsh players as well. Looking forward to Commonwealth Games next year, and now that they're in this side, they certainly like to impress their selectors.
Very tight line. Wherever it comes, the mate's good. Well played, Paddles. Well done.
William Thomas virtually playing the same bowl. Can make a mistake by, if you try to narrow that last delivery up, can possibly end up too narrow. So really just try to play the same
try
bowl,
again.
hope for the jack.
big try again, William. Bend.
They're a size 6, aren't
Bend.
This time. Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful
well
bowl.
done.
Oh, they'll pick up 3 here. Oh, that's a nice little pickup for the Welsh. They were due for some luck. Fine bowl from William Thomas, and 22-8 now. Australia 22-8. Wales having picked up their first multiple count in the 18th end, a 3, but they cannot win it
Right for you.
in this 2-bowl pairs format.
Going far. Start mark.
This will be the final end.
Another remark.
Probably a yard.
Malcolm Bishop and William Thomas coming good towards the end of the match, but they surrendered too many shots early.
Way the road.
Quite different, Steve, to have a couple of days practice where you're just playing against your teammates, and
Yeah, no way to
all of a
start.
sudden you come out against a world-class combination of we've seen from Kirko and Johnston. It's enormous mental pressure on the players. Your opposite number is nailing the jack. Kirko has been correcting very well.
Try here, mate. Good shot,
Correcting well. Superbly well. I think he's enjoyed his time out in front of the cameras. And the Australians with more effective bowls, 72%. That's a tremendous return. One drive only offered by Australia. 2 of 5 have been effective for the Welsh. And conversions, 5 of 6 and 8 of 9. That's good stats for both sides.
It's very good skip, Will Thomas, in terms of playing the weighted shots. None better than the previous end where he's 2 down, trailed the jack for a count of 3. Looks to be very good once again. Australian bowl clean out, 2 shots to Wales.
1 down to 2 up, well done. Perfect result. Tone of the match was set very early. Australia leading 8-1 after 4 ends.
Try, mate.
Sure, the Welsh combination, Steve, would be hoping to just start the game now. Really, the last couple of ends have been the best of the match. Scored 3 on the last end. They're holding 2. William Thomas drawing for a 3rd once again.
Come on, Will. Stay out there then, stay there. Stay there. That's good.
You can draw that, mate, I reckon.
Hey?
You can draw that.
No, he's got no fun, has he?
Johnston was shaping up to have a forehand drive. Kirko says, you can draw that.
Rex working the crowd. Says, oh, he's got no sense of fun, has he? But let's see if he can draw that.
Well, you can sit it too, mate. Good. 1 down.
Knocks 1 out.
Well done. Thanks,
And 1
Thanks, mate.
to Wales, and that is the end of the match.
Thanks, Bernie.
Superb performance from Kelvin Kirko and Rex Johnson. Simply too good for Malcolm Bishop and William Thomas.
We'll get it back off
And
yes,
with the triples,
a
mate.
further 1 to Wales in the last end. But 22-9, Australia win the pairs.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations, Kelvin, and I suppose welcome back's the word.
Yeah, it's good to be back and good to get away with a good win like that.
So you both played pretty solid. I thought you dominated up front, and Rex just tied it up for you.
He did. You know, I was happy to get off and play well up front, and Rex just finished it off at the end. So Malcolm had a reasonable sort of a game, and I guess Will struggled a little bit.
So things are looking good. I suppose now the singles is the next match, but the way you guys are going, the triples could be yours and the series.
Well, I hope so. We can only wait and see, but I'm happy with the way things are going, and I'm sure Stevie will go well in the singles.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, that was a great win for Australia. Both Rex Johnson and Kelvin Kirko will be delighted with that 13-shot margin. Lots of pressure on Wales now to come up with the right result in the singles. Our next match, let's see who's playing. And for Australia, well, it's a man who probably knows this carpet better than the one in his own lounge room, Steve Glasson. He faces a tough opponent, though, in Cardiff's Jason Greenslade. And Shuey, Steve Glasson was in great form against the Scots. What about today?
Well, it should be difficult for Jason Greenslade. He's ranked number 12 in the world, Steve. That's the highest ranking of any player here. Steve Glasson, as you said, knows this carpet so well. It should be very difficult for Jason.
And Jason, we must respect his reputation, a semi-finalist, World Indoor Pairs.
Yes, he can perform at the highest level, Jason. He's a very exciting young player from Wales. He'll be very keen to try and knock off Steve Glasson in this singles match.
Let's have a look at the conditions of play. It's 4-bowl singles, sets play, best of 3 sets, and the first to 9 shots wins each set. The shot clock is running on their first 3 bowls only. There'll be no dead ends. That means if the jack is sent out of bounds, it'll be placed back on the rink on a predetermined mark. Your commentators for the singles, Ian, to be joined by Steve Boylan.
The Welsh Dragon on the flags of Wales, with the Australian flags flying high here at Tweed Heads. Steve Glasson gets this match underway. As we mentioned earlier, it's the first to 9, the best of 3. Steve Glasson just been knocked off the perch at Australia's #1 ranked player by Kelvin Kirko, but certainly one of Australia's best singles players over many years. And he's playing Jason Greenslade. Pretty exciting young talent from Wales. My co-commentator Ian Schubeck rates him pretty well. He's ranked #12 in the world as far as the World Bowls Tour rankings are. Just dropping a bit short. So he'll need to correct on that. Steve Glasson, well, a very impressive record. Won Jack I-97 a few years ago, but #1 ranked player for a considerable amount of time. And the World Bowls singles silver medal, that was a great performance in Johannesburg in South Africa. Jason Greenslade came up through this development ranks as a junior outdoor singles champion and the British Isles junior title as well. But making the semi-finals of the World Indoor Pairs, he also got a quarter-final in the World Indoor Singles. So he's ranked pretty well up there. I don't know, Shuey. I've got a view, perhaps, that Glasson might do this in a trot.
Yes, Steve, I think so. It's we know how consistent Steve is. Already, I think Jason's made a tactical error. He hasn't spoken to, obviously, too many members here at Tweed, but Glasson knows the backhand is the kinder of the two sides. Jason Greenslade playing the forehand. And that's going to make it much more easier for Glasson. He's going to have the backhand all to himself. Jason does prefer to play his forehand, so he may decide to go forehand around the clock.
I'm also surprised, Shuey, a bit at the length of this. This is a good shot too. Well, that's enough. Well played. I was talking to Jason Greenslade prior to the match, Shuey, and he did say that he felt that Glasson was perhaps a lot stronger on the longer ends. That was a great shot. And he rolled the jack straight away, full length.
Yeah, well, Steve Glasson's great on all lengths. He'll be playing weight here. He won't be drawing, Steve. He's one down, has 2 seconds. Very important for Jason Greenslade to try and score on this opening end. He's holding one. Glasson, forehand, with weight.
Well, jack back's a great result for Glasson here. Close. Oh. Excuse me. Just the one down to 2 up. Fairly simple. You're dead right, Shuey.
Beautiful shot off the short bowl onto the jack.
Glasson's a master at conversions.
Well, Jason Greenslade congratulating Steve. He needs this shot, Steve. Forehand himself with weight. Straight through there. Jack into the ditch for 1. Plays the weighted shots pretty well, Jason Greenslade, usually. Pressure, first end. Difficult shot at that weight.
It's a touch wide. Anything can happen, let me tell you. Well, he could have made it a touch worse now. Was 2 down. I fear for Jason Greenslade, it's 3.
Yeah.
It is. And this shot, you can see that he just took his closest bowl out, and the 3 yellow disc bowls belong to Australia, and Glasson picks up 3 on the opening end.
Just trying to float those shots and
Glasson again leads off after picking up that multiple score of 3 on the first. Played a very good conversion shot.